What do my most successful Pinterest manager students have in common? This is a question I get asked all the time, especially from those people who are interested in starting their Pinterest management business. They really want to know, will this work for me? And if they can identify with this trait or this theme I'm seeing amongst my most successful students, then that obviously is going to give them a lot more courage when they're getting started with their business. So that's exactly what I'm going to cover in today's episode. I'm Emily Vales. I'm a Pinterest marketing and ad strategist, and for over 4 years now, I've helped my clients and my students increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. So I wish I could say that there was something crazy unique and it was, this magic formula or something like that. When you do this, this is going to happen. And, it's actually quite simple. My most successful Pinterest manager students, what they have in common is that they are action takers and they have agency thinking. And what I mean by that with agency thinking is they really are taking full ownership and control of their life, and they understand that they are the one behind the wheel. They are in the driver's seat. So life is not happening to them, but it's happening for them and because of them. So whatever their future includes, they know that it's a result of the actions that they're taking. Or for some, that's going to be in relation to the lack of action. So hands down, I have had students that aren't seeing a lot of success. And when I say hands down, I mean across the board. It's always due to the fact that a lot of excuses are made and that they're not putting in the work and they're not taking action. It really is as simple as that. And it's my academy. What I teach is a step-by-step system that when you follow it and you take action, it will work for you. You don't need to be special. You don't need to be unique. I don't have a background in marketing. I don't have a background in sales. I don't have a background in business. And I would say at least 99% of my students don't either. Now, I have talked with people before where they might have a little bit of marketing experience, or maybe they even had an Etsy shop and they're just thinking about broadening their business by, adding on Pinterest management as a service. But for the most part, they don't have experience and they're in the same boat as me. And I think what helps them to feel more comfortable to learn from me is not only because I was a former teacher, so I really know how to break things down, but also because they can identify with my story and knowing that she didn't know anything and she made this work. Now, I'm one person, one story, one scenario, but now that I am showing that what I did, the action I took, the steps I followed, they're working for other people as well, but you have to be an action taker. And like I said, I know that sounds simple, but it can be challenging because you're gonna have things come up that make you question yourself, that make you feel like,
what am I doing? What was I thinking to get started?
And in those moments, you have to think about your why and what is really driving you to make this change for yourself. And your why is what's going to keep you going. And I really believe that if you don't have a strong or powerful why, that it's not going to work for you. Because those other thoughts can be also really strong and scary. And it's easier to feed into that than it is your passion and your drive for making it work. And for me, it was my baby. But ultimately, once I had my baby, I decided I don't want to leave her. And I also know that we need another income. Life is expensive. We had just bought a new home and I was like, oh my gosh, our timing was not the best, but everything, hindsight's 2020. And so that's when I started really exploring and looking into options that would allow me to work from home. And there were a lot of things that didn't feel right to me, and that's okay. So this is so weird. I was never interested in starting a Teachers Pay Teachers shop or starting an Etsy shop. I don't think that I knew a lot about affiliate marketing, so that never even crossed my mind. I did actually look into teaching English online, but then I realized I was gonna have to have like a little mini classroom set up somewhere in my house, and then the hours were gonna be kind of strange and also constricting because you're gonna be teaching kiddos in China. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be restricted to certain hours. They're also weird. I have to have a classroom. It just started to feel like it was turning into something that was supposed to be convenient because I was going to be working from home and I had a baby, and it was all of a sudden feeling really inconvenient. So that's really part of the reason why I started looking into other options, which is when I explored freelancing. So freelancing is so amazing because as a freelancer, you are essentially an independent contractor. And so you are entering into, when you sign on a client, an agreement where you are going to perform X service. These are the tasks you'll be completing or fulfilling within your package, and then they're going to pay you X rate. So you create those packages, you decide on what your rates are going to be, and those are all things I teach inside my Pinterest Manager Academy. So if you want to learn more about becoming a Pinterest manager, I would love for you to save your seat for my upcoming free live training. And what you're going to learn from that live training is obviously more about becoming a Pinterest manager, and I really show you and break down that path to earning, 5K months working part-time hours. But what it's so great about it is that even if this ultimately isn't for you, that it's helping you make that decision, and you're not making an investment up front, but you're just getting more information to make a decision that's going to work for you. Now, if you decide that Pinterest management is the route you want to go, there are going to be things that are challenging and hard, and I truly believe that entrepreneurship, we're not meant to do it alone. You don't have to be a Pinterest manager. I mean, in all aspects of entrepreneurship, I truly believe we need mentors, we need peers, we need people who are doing the same thing we're doing. We need to learn from people who have already done the thing that we want to do. And that is truly what I attribute to much of my business success. And I consider my business successful because at the end of the day, it allows me to be the mom I want to be and be at home with my girls. And, some people look at success as a specific number, and that's fine. We all have these beautiful and unique definitions of what success is for us. And when some people look at my bank account or find out what I'm making monthly, maybe that's not as much as they're like, like I said, everybody's definition is different. But for me, that is, worth everything to me, that I can be there with my girls. And it also has provided this huge release of stress and a burden for our family because I do have flexibility. And so my husband and I, we don't have to stress about who's taking a PTO day, or, a couple months ago, my daughter had her tonsils out. She was at home for 2 weeks. If we both worked a regular 9 to 5, that would not be possible. So these are some of the things that made my why so powerful. I knew that even though at the time she was a baby, that all of these things were going to come up with sickness, or, you have a surgery, or you have a traumatic life event and you have to draw back. And that is the thing that I have loved about my business. It has allowed me to expand and retract as needed. And there have been times and seasons in my life where I felt really expansive and like I can take more on and I can do more. And then there's been times where I've needed to retract. And sometimes we don't have that luxury when we're working a 9 to 5. So I just think that that is another thing that is just so beautiful. So now that I've kind of gone on a tangent now about all the reasons why I love being a freelancer and a Pinterest manager, I just want to encourage you to listen to your intuition. And I just knew that once I discovered Pinterest management, that this was something that I just had this interest in, and I couldn't let go of it. And that's when I decided to go all in on this service. And I didn't have a course or anything to teach me step by step how to manage accounts, how to onboard clients, to create workflows. And so that's what I have put inside my Pinterest Manager Academy, so that, it's really taking the guesswork out of it for my students. But it also is created to remove any excuse for not finding success. So I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's not going to be easy. It's not easy to start a business. If you go into it thinking that you're going to make $10,000 overnight, it doesn't work that way. You have to learn how to market on Pinterest first, and then you have to create your portfolio, and then you need to do testimonial work. And so I go more into this during my free live Pinterest manager training. Like I said, that is linked in this YouTube episode, but it's not easy and it's going to take a little bit of time. However, it's something that, because there is a market for Pinterest managers, business owners should be marketing on Pinterest, that it's not something that's going away. Pinterest is public now. They have skin in the game. They have, advertising dollars. And I think that people just for some reason kind of, I don't know why, push Pinterest aside sometimes, but it's getting up there close to like 500 million monthly active users. It is a really amazing platform, and Pinterest just continues to become more shoppable. So there are a million reasons, if you become a Pinterest manager and you are looking for clients, how you can position this to make it, a no-brainer for business owners. Plus, there's already a lot of business owners who are already on Pinterest and they're realizing, okay, either A, I don't have time for this, or B, I don't really know what I'm doing. I need to hire a Pinterest manager. So you can even think about it as like a social media manager. A lot of business owners don't have time, once they are really stepping into that CEO role, to do as much on their social media platforms, or maybe they just aren't getting the results they want to, and that's why they outsource that. And so it's kind of the same thing with Pinterest management, where, I think especially something that also gives Pinterest managers a leg up is that a lot of people don't really know how to market on Pinterest. It's not as intuitive as social media. So because as a social media user, you're uploading pictures, if you use it personally, whereas like on Pinterest, you're not creating personal pins, you're not thinking about driving traffic anywhere, you're literally just saving pins, and it's a very different experience. So once again, I have kind of gone into different rabbit holes, but kind of going back to what my most successful students have in common, they understand the value of the service. They know that there are clients out there, and they know that their success is inevitable if they put in the work. I have had students quit their jobs, and it's because they don't have time for their job because they have clients that are, filling their time. And then another beautiful part about it too is that you can work as much or as little as you want. If you only want to work 15 hours of work, then just work 15 hours of work a week. So once again, you can truly make it what you want it to be, and you just have to be committed to taking action. I tell my students that, my most successful students, they know that they have to give it their 100%. I give it my 100% in supporting them, and that's when the magic happens. But it can't be the other way. It can't be like you're giving it 50%, you're doing a little bit here and there as you see needed, and then Emily's got to go 150. Like, you have to meet me in the middle, and I know it will work for you, and that your success will be inevitable, but you have to know that too. And I can't instill that in you. I can support you and I can tell you to believe in yourself, but you have to believe in yourself and know that if I am committed to this, it will work. You only lose the game if you quit, right? So once you're taking action, to stay in that momentum, one thing that is really super helpful with my academy is that you're getting regular support. And whether, you never join or do anything with me personally, but you're, here listening to my YouTube episodes, just know that I'm cheering you on, but also that I encourage you to find other people in the entrepreneur space, whether you're joining Facebook groups for business owners, and there are plenty out there, but doing something where you can have these connections and you can talk to people who are like-minded, because when you can talk about the struggles and people will be at different points in their business, that connection is so helpful. And I really recommend, like I said, not necessarily even saying me, because maybe I'm not your cup of tea, but finding somebody who's done what you want to do and learning from them. They've already done the hard work, so why not learn from their success, learn from their mistakes, right? It kind of seems like a no-brainer. So like I said, I covered a lot of different things. This YouTube episode, don't even know how it will perform, don't care, because I truly believe that the people that are meant to listen to it will. And I would love for you to, of course, you can comment on this YouTube episode, but reach out to me on Instagram or through email and just say, hey, I listened to your YouTube episode, or hey, I have questions about this. I would love more information. I really want people to feel like, even if you are not part of my academy, that you can ask questions, because I know that starting my Pinterest management business, it was truly life-changing for me. And so I want it to be life-changing for you as well. So let me know what questions you have, and I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because not only do I talk about starting your Pinterest management business, but I'm also helping business owners, giving them tips, tricks, so then once you become a successful Pinterest manager, you can learn more Pinterest marketing strategies, tips, tricks, best practices that you can apply to your client accounts as well. So like I said, subscribe to my channel. That helps me grow so much and come back week to week to continue to serve you. And I would love for you to do that. Like this episode, and then be sure to let me know what questions you have in the comments. And I can't wait to see you soon in next week's episode. Bye for now, friends.